All right, fellas. So you want to make life simpler and you want to make it a lot easier to manage. I got the perfect tools for that. Let's talk about it. What's going on, fellas? What's up? Let's talk about some stuff today. All right. So I had a conversation the other day with a couple of college kids, young college kids, 18, 19, 20, 21. And I was just kind of asking them, hey, what are some of your pain points? What are some of the things that you guys are struggling with now, as young men, young college men? And a lot of them were saying, they struggle with, focus and time and setting their goals for life. And so I kind of gave them tips on each individual thing to help them kind of work out the things that they needed to work out. And one kid asked me, well, I'll call him a young man. One young man asked me, hey, you know, I'm just trying to figure it out. I don't know what to do. Like they've been so programmed and wired, to go straight into college as the next step, but still struggling to figure out what that is exactly. And being in college and not understanding, what direction you want to go in, like you end up spending a lot of time, spending a lot of money to find something that you're not really interested in. And even relationships, same thing, So I said, don't worry, I got some tools for you. I got something that'll help you out. So this is for you, fellas. Fellas out there that are struggling, trying to figure out where they're going to go in life. What's the goal? What's the process? What's the plan? Professionally, how they're going to handle their career. What kind of career? Relationships. What kind of women are they looking for? And things like that. What are they looking for in a spouse and a partner? So check this out, right? I suggest, because in the Modified Gentleman, I strongly talk about self-awareness, you figuring out who you are. That's the foundation of my philosophy, and I mean that. So if you want to make life a little more simpler, but a lot easier to manage, I suggest you take the two aspects of your life that are pretty much like 2/3 of your life, and that's your professional life and that's your personal life. We take those two aspects and we dive deep into those to figure out what's going on with you, who you are, what you need, what you're looking for, things like that. So let's start with the professional aspect. We'll go there. It's a lot more simpler. So the professional aspect of your life, right? You need to figure out what type of person you are, the things that you're looking for career-wise. Like what are you looking for? You want to be a doctor, you want to be a basketball player, you want to be a lawyer, whatever the case may be. Even if you want to be a chef, like you need to start figuring out the type of standards you have for yourself professionally. How do you conduct yourself in a professional manner? Are you on time? Are you strict about getting work done? Do you play around the office? Are you fun? Are you charismatic and laid back? These are the type of things that you start figuring out for yourself. And how do they translate over into the workplace? Do they or not? So the professional aspect of your life is how do you see yourself making a living off of that aspect of a career, or even if it's a hobby, if it's a hobby that you can turn into a career. Look at things professionally, dissect that. I can't answer it for you. You have to really do the deep dive in yourself and figure out, how do I look at things professionally? Am I strict? Am I lenient? Am I loose in things? What are you doing right now for work? And how do you carry yourself at work? Are you employee of the month? Or are you that employee that's, on probation, that's pending your next action, your next adverse action? So you got to really think about that stuff. Like, and it's crazy because a lot of people in general, we don't really think about how we want to do things in a professional manner. It really sets the tone for how you carry yourself. Even when you're at home, like if you make up your bed every morning, you handle things in a professional way. That this is how my personality and character is going forward. Like I see things in a way, and I don't get me wrong. I don't mean professional as in like a stick in the mud or something like that. What I mean professionally is that, are you a person that cares about the work that they do, the quality? How do they submit it? Do you care about that? Even if you were in school, did you do your schoolwork to a higher quality? Did you turn it in on time? Or did you slack off on it? Did you turn it in late? Did you turn it in knowing that you could have done better? Like that plays a part into how you see yourself professionally. Do you even do you take orders and commands well from your manager and things like that? Like, are you okay taking that role? So do a deep dive in that professionally, just to see what is my character like? What is my personality like professionally? How do I conduct myself? Are you on time for events? Like when people schedule events, if you schedule an event, do you show up on time? Like that was one of the biggest things for me always growing up. Like I was always on time for events. I hate being late for stuff. And I hate when other people are late for stuff, because time is money. Not only that, but time is energy. And I don't want my energy wasted. I don't want my time wasted. I don't want my money wasted. So if I'm doing things to a proper standard that is supposed to be done, I expect the same of another person. If it's a partnership, if you're going into a professional partnership, you would expect that professional partner to come to the table with the same energy that you do. Today, hey, we're going to knock out these projects and we're going to turn it in with a high quality. We're going to operate at a high level, and we're going to do it to the best of our abilities. That's that's what you want to see, but you don't nowadays. But the thing is, even if you're an entrepreneur, and you own your own business, now you can't slack in your own business, because that's how you're surviving. That's how you keep the lights turned on. That's how you put food on the table. That's how you feed your family. So you have to have a certain level of that. And that's the funny thing about entrepreneurship. Like entrepreneurship is made for everyone. Anyone can be an entrepreneur, but not everyone is made to be an entrepreneur, if you understand what I'm saying. So that plays a big part. So I was telling those young guys, those young college kids, like, how do you handle yourself professionally? Do you get up in the morning, you have a plan to go and attack the day, the week, you got goals, and you start working on them? Like, how do you do that? And you'd be surprised that there are so many people who have never really given it thought, that never thought in themselves in a professional manner, like, honestly. Because that's something you usually see from another example, from a positive example. Like we look at businessmen and businesswomen and entrepreneurs out there, and it's like you know the type of energy that comes off of them. Like when they walk in a room, like, okay, business is happening, type of thing. Like it's an energy. And you can learn that energy, of course. You can learn it, but you got to give it some thought first. You got to give it some thought. So given that professional aspect, the attention that it needs, so you can cultivate it, man. You can cultivate it. Learn how you want to conduct yourself personally and professionally. And then I was telling the guys, after you get a good handle and a good idea of how you want to conduct yourself professionally, then you go to the personal aspect. Now, the personal aspect of life is a lot heavier. It's a lot more, it takes a lot more attention and energy, because the personal aspect of your life is completely you, and that's where your self-awareness begins. The type of person that you are. What's your personality? What's your character? Are you honest? Are you loyal? Are you a comedic person? Are you goofy? Are you silly? Or are you serious? Or are you strict? Or you straight to the point, you know what I mean? Or you blunt. Whatever the case may be, it's up to you to figure out the type of person that you are. You know, and I'm not what other people are telling you you are. It's what you, when you look at yourself, who you think that you are, who you know that you are. And so once you have that personal attention, that personal aspect of attention focused on, now you apply that to how you want to move in your life personally, how you want to move around. That even affects your relationships, man. So let's say, and I'll give an example of relationship wise. Let's say you are, what I was saying just now, let's say you're a goofy, silly, comedic type of person. That's your personality, your character. But you go and you get into a relationship with a woman or partner that is serious and strict, and they don't play around as much. Now, they say opposites attract. That's what they say. And I think that's okay in the beginning. That's cool. But eventually, it will get to a point where it just butt heads. You know, it's not going to be the same, because one of you is going to sacrifice each other's character or personality. One of you, whether it's you, if you have a comedic personality, you're going to feel that you can't be funny around that person. And you're going to feel like you can't be yourself. And on the other side of things, that person is going to feel like, you know, they can't be that laid back, well, they can't be that strict or serious type of person. Like they have to be goofy. Like they have to find something funny in everything. And you're going to butt heads like that. It's not going to work out, you know, like you would want it to be. It's going to be a huge sacrifice, not a little sacrifice. It's going to be a huge sacrifice to where someone is not feeling like they can be themselves. And that's what you don't want. So, in your personal aspect, when you figured out who you are, the type of personality and character you have, it's best to find, you know, a partner or a spouse that is similar, not exactly on it, but is similar on that level, both professionally and personally. Because the professional aspect is if you are a determined, driven, ambitious person, but yet you get into a partnership, a relationship with another person who is not driven, that's not ambitious, that's not determined, again, you're going to have conflict. And that's the same with professional business partnerships. You know, you have a partnership that, hey, we got a deadline to meet. We got to get this done. And that person is just somewhere off in the weeds or scrolling on TikTok or Instagram all day and not helping you get the work done. So, but figuring out life, figuring out how to make things a lot more easier to manage, it always starts with that self-awareness aspect. But you drill that self-awareness aspect down to the professional and personal elements of your life. And how do you conduct that? How do you expect to be treated? Because you don't know how to be treated from other people if you don't know how to treat yourself. So when I was talking to those college kids, man, I was like, this is a great way for you to get your foot in the door and just have a different perspective on how you see life, how you see yourself, you know. And I think it adds an element of it's eye-opening. It's eye-opening because it's targeted. Gotta stay hydrated. It's targeted because instead of just out here trying to wing it, man, and trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, you start with these two aspects. Only two. Don't add any more. Because 8 hours of your life you spent at a job. Let's just use the traditional 24-hour clock here. 8 hours of your life you spent working at a job. The next 8 hours you're probably at home doing something personally, taking care of family, you working out, whatever that case may be. And then you got another 8 hours where you're sleeping. All right. So you got 2/3 of your day to focus on what's professional and what's personal. And so don't complicate it any more than that. Trust me, do not complicate it. It's important. The reason why this works is because it's so simple. So if you look at those two elements and you do your inner work, do your self-development, your self-awareness, and you figure out, okay, what type of person am I? Am I professionally? How do I conduct myself? And be honest with yourself. Please be honest with yourself, because it doesn't work if you're not honest, because you're gonna get a very undesired result. I can tell you that. I can tell you that if you're not being honest with yourself and who you are and your personality and your character, you're gonna get a very, very undesirable result. So be honest with yourself. How do you even see yourself conducting yourself professionally? In which manner would you like to conduct work, to have work done, to do some work, to have someone do work with you? Think about that. Same thing personally. How do you see yourself personally? How would you want someone to approach you personally? How would you want to work with someone personally? These are things you got to figure out for yourself. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna drop that right there, let you guys marinate on that. Let me know how that works out for you. Drop a comment, let me know what you think, or if you want to add to it. I could get into this a lot deeper, but again, I want to keep it simple. Just drop a nugget for you guys, let you know, hey, try this tool, try this tip, try this tactic, try this strategy, see if that works for you, and let me know what you guys think. So other than that, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Take it easy out there, be safe, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.